Order has been restored in Columbus, Ohio. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State. Here, the voice of college football. I'm your host every day every Monday for you every week. Garrison Gaddy here to bring with you the news that's going on with Ohio State and everything that's going on around college football. First, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Does a great deal for us. Of course, if you like to send super chats, if you like to become a member, hit that join button right below the screen here. You see our 3 tiers. The Blocko Club, JT was short. We don't give a damn, and you know the rest. We all accept that, but the best that you can do for us here is hit that like button and subscribe and share around to the community, your friends, your family, and even those who may hate the Buckeyes. First, everybody, we're going to talk about the game here, and I haven't really gotten to talk to you all about it. Of course, if you were here at the post-game show, I was really brief after the game, but I'm really excited to talk to you all about it because it was a great experience. I've been to a lot of Ohio State games in my life. This one, for a lot of reasons, it was my favorite. This is my favorite. Being able to see this team win in that fashion, dominate in a dominant fashion against our rival, the team up north, the Wolverines, in their house, in the snow, in the cold, in the wind. Didn't matter, sleet or snow. It didn't matter. The Buckeyes went out there and handled business. They talked about, and I saw the video. They're like Michigan's coming out, and they're playing Chief Keef, Sharon Moore's dancing, the whole team's dancing, everybody's hype. They're all talking, saying whatever, and next thing you know, you see Ohio State coming through the tunnel. It's dead silent. And I was confident going into this game, but had I known that before the game, right 5 seconds before they entered the field, I would have said to everybody, and I would have said to you guys, we're gonna blow the doors off. Everybody likes to joke about what I said last year about fire and brimstone. Had I known this, I would have said fire and brimstone again. But let's get to the game. Again, everybody, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the channel. Wow. And real quick, let's get some shout outs here. I see a lot of you all in here. Shout out to Jam OSU. Says bourbon and ball is at 7. I'll miss this light. It's all good. It's all good. Sage, how it's a great day to be a Buckeye. Yes, it is, Sage. Yes, it is. David Greenshield, OH, IO. Oh, man. Yeah, there we go, man. Order restored. Bell to ass. Yes, it would. The M stands for mediocrity. That's hilarious. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Happy Monday. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to you too, Daniel. Always good to see you in here. Oh, man. Shout out to David. OH. IO, brother. IO. Yeah, and Aaron, I see what you said there, buddy. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that later in the show. We definitely are going to talk about that. Shout out to the Rock Bar. But, Rod, I saw you in, I don't know if you saw my comment. I saw you, I think you were watching the Mike Valenti show. I saw you in there going back and forth with some Wolverine fans, man. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Yeah, that was great to watch. That was great to watch. But let's get to it here, everybody. The Ohio State Buckeyes win this game 27-9, sending the Wolverines back to hell. And it was great. I would have been happy with a 1-point win, but seeing us win like this again, it was completely awesome. Let's start with the offense here. Julian Sayin, 19 for 26, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception. What a game by him. And a lot of people for the last few weeks, if not maybe a month or so, have been talking about him not facing adversity. He went 0 for 2 in the first drive. Threw an interception, of course. After that, spotless. Perfection. Of course, he has some incompletions in the game, but I mean, he couldn't do any better than he did today after that interception. He was awesome. And he proved to everyone who didn't believe that he's that guy. He's the best quarterback in college football. That's what he is. And he's a redshirt freshman doing this, man. And before the season started, I had a lot of confidence that he was going to do well. I thought he was going to be better than Will Howard. And not saying that like being better than Will Howard, like Will Howard's a bad quarterback. He's a champion. But what he's doing now, like I said months ago in October, he's exceeded, and it's September. He's exceeded my expectations. He's done that. Of course, we all know that in college football, regular season stats do get conjoined with the postseason. But in 12 games in, highest completion percentage of all time in college football, being Joe Burrow's record. Our player of the game on offense, true freshman Bo Jackson, 22 carries, 117 yards, 4 receptions, 49 yards. He had more total yards than the Wolverines did as a team. This was one of the best freshman performances I have seen from a Buckeye in the game. You think back to that J.K. Dobbins game. That was awesome. As a running back, I mean, and there's a lot of others, man. But, Ted Ginn had a great game his freshman year, I believe, if I remember correctly. But, wow. I couldn't imagine for, him being an Ohio kid coming into this game and having the performance that he had. Spectacular. Ran his ass off. He was also second in receiving for this team. He was Mr. Do It All. Mr. Do It All. And what's also great is that over the last let's say 3 weeks, I've been talking about this run game. And with all of you about how it has been progressing over the month of November. And every time I would bring this up, whether it be on here, whether it be on X, whether it be on personal phone calls that I've had with Wolverine fans, they will continue to poo-poo when I would bring up Ohio State's run game in the month of November. Continue to do that. Bo Jackson, everybody, in the month of November, 519 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. This is all rushing. 6.2 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. Spectacular. And then, of course, my mind just zooms out and I think to myself, had Bo Jackson, he's gotten better throughout the season as a running back, but had he been starting from the get-go and gotten all those carries, not all the carries, but gotten a lot of those carries, had he been getting the ball at the goal line, I wonder what his stat line would look like as a true freshman. I really do, because it would have gone down as it probably would have gone down as one of the greatest seasons a freshman has ever had at Ohio State. Yeah, so great work out of Bo, man. Player of the game on offense. To the wide receivers, the stats weren't crazy, but the SFE boys, South Florida Express, Tate, Smith, Ennis, all had touchdowns in this game. Jeremiah Smith gets that touchdown to the right side, and when he was covered over the top. Of course, we all know that everybody will make a big hoopla about that being a possible touchback. Who gives a damn? Who cares? What I love more about that, because before that, when I'm not going to say Ryan Day, when Brian Hartline, we're also going to talk about, called that run and play on 3rd and 5, I was so confused. Because in my mind, I'm like, bro, like, pass the ball. We can do that on them. We can get pick those 5-6 yards. And then he rolls the offense back out there. And of course, to be able to go for it on 4th down, Ryan Day has to give the say so, and he gives that say so. And they don't just go for the 1st down; they went for it all on that, and they got it. Carnell Tate broke open over the middle. Shout out to Terry. We watched the all 22 every single play last night. And, Max Clare runs a curl route. It brings the safety down. Boom. Carnell Tate's open. Shout out to Tater. And then Brandon Ennis CJ Stroud actually said this was one of his favorite. This was his favorite play of the game. He's right behind Cardinal Tate. They think they're going to the flat. He breaks it inside. Max Clare doesn't impede the corner or the DBs from moving because it could have been an OPI. They call a lot of times on a pick play. Brandon Inniss gets open, gets a touchdown. Awesome work. Awesome work. The offensive line, spectacular. Spectacular. We're going to start with Tegra. Played your ass off, young man. Played your ass off. You were awesome on Saturday. But the offensive line as a whole, they didn't let Julian get touched. Derek Moore is their best, the best player they have on that defensive line. Next to that is Rayshon Benny. They were put in check all game, and Derek Moore was on his arse all game. Speaking of that, because I don't want to skip this guy, he needs to be talked about. Will Kazmarek. That was one of the best blocking performances from a tight end that I've ever seen, and maybe we should have called that out. Maybe we should have known, because Will Kazmarek is a huge human being. He's the size of most defensive ends. So that was great to see, man. Will played a great game, had that snag over the middle. Awesome catch, man. Great job out of him. But yeah, back to the offensive line. In that second half, they started throwing guys left and right. And they started to lean on that Wolverine defensive line. Just lean on them. And that's what led to Bo Jackson getting the runs he had. And then after that, it wasn't just Bo. It was Isaiah West. It was CJ Donaldson getting a chunk yards on like 7-8 yard gains. Everybody was spectacular. Everybody was spectacular. Wow, man. It was great. And now let's talk some more about this offense, because this was the drive of the game. It didn't even result in a touchdown. 20 plays, 82 yards, 12 minutes. That was the biggest statement drive of Ryan Day's career. That's the statement drive of Ryan Day's career. The ability to do that, and then you kick that field goal, basically putting the game out of reach in all reality. I mean, when we went up by 7, I thought the game was over. To be quite, I thought the game was done by then. But at that point in time, because that drive started in the third quarter and went into the fourth quarter. It was a 15-point game. In other words, still a chance. It's still football. Anything can happen. There's still a chance. And when I was in that stadium watching that drive, it sucked the life out of them. It was quiet in there. You could hear the Buckeye fans, but overall it was dead silent. Just wow. Like what a drive. Just continuing to lean on them, run the ball. Had an incompletion here, incompletion there, completion here, completion there. Didn't matter. They couldn't stop us from running the ball. So that's whatever they've been talking about the last few years, which I've hated, because I used to tell my friend Bryce this. When we were beating the crap out of Michigan for all those years, we didn't call them soft. We just said we're beating the crap out of you. I wouldn't call it soft, because when you say soft, I mean it implies something else, and you don't want to get too in the weeds about it. But if that's the case, everybody, that was soft. 20 plays is insane. If we've all watched football, some of us have played football. A 20-play drive is crazy to do. It really is. Brian Hartline, I think right now within the fan base there's a problem. It's not a problem, but what we tend to do is that we give Ryan Day all the credit for the play calls and the offense and how things are moving with them. Guys are given jobs for a reason. And again, we're going to talk about Brian Hartline here later in the show. But guys are given jobs for a reason. Brian Hartline has been an awesome and I mean awesome play call this year. Great. For his first time on a season, going from wire to wire, we still got more season to play, but in the first 12 games of this season, for him to go out there and call the plays how he has this season, continue to progress the running game, man, just wow. And I mean some of the wrinkles that he played. I mean, that one run when he had Bo in the slot, you fake motion to the right and then you go left. What a play! That was probably my favorite play call of the game because I hadn't seen that. I've never seen that on the Ryan Day. So I'm gonna give Brian Hartline that credit. Just spectacular performance out of the offense. Congrats to them. Next, let's get to the defense. The defense was even better. Gave up 9 points. Of course, 3 of those points came off of the interception from Julian, essentially. But they were great. The longest play from scrimmage that the Wolverines had was the first play of the game. That was their longest play of the game. They gave up 162 yards, 100 rushing, 63 passing. Then you have 1, of course, for the team rush yards. That knocks it back. They gave up 53 yards in the second half. And Michigan didn't gain a yard in the fourth. Didn't gain a yard. I don't know. And I'll tell you what, before, and I don't want to give this too much pub, but before I got on here, I was just checking out some other shows, and there was one show who I'm not even going to name because I think it's a bad product. But it's not about. They just don't know what they're talking about. And they said where he was asked, "Are you even any more impressed by Ohio State's defense?" And he said no. And I think he's a Buckeye fan, and he said no. And then they went on to talk about could Indiana score 30 plus points in this team, and he said he wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Idiots. But no, Bryce Underwood, 8 for 18 in this game. We're going to talk a little bit more about him in a second. Completely had him rattled. He was shook, scared. He wasn't ready to play in that game. Not from a skill standpoint, not from a mental standpoint. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese were flying around out there, putting a helmet, putting a hat on hat. Guys, it's to the point now where I don't know what else to say about this defense because it's not that I'm not impressed anymore about this defense. I'm just not surprised anymore, right? They do this week in and week out. From week 1 to week 12, they have done. From game 1 to game 12, they have done this. And I've never seen a defense like this at Ohio State. Never. This defense is better than 2019. It is. And that 2019 defense, man, they had Chase, Jeff Okudah, and all those guys. Man, this is different. This is different. Caleb Downs was back there conducting traffic, putting guys, doing what he's done all year, putting guys where they need to be. Secondary was awesome. All of them. Iggy got a pick. Loved him taking his helmet off, running to the end zone. Loved it. Don't care. Don't care about that penalty. Loved it. Jermaine Matthews bringing the belt out after the game. Andrew Marsh. Everybody, please put an APB out for Andrew Marsh. We can't find him. Me, Sage Ohio, Sean, Kevin Chavez, we all had the same amount of yards and receptions and touchdowns as Andrew Marsh in this game, and targets. We had the same amount of targets as him too. 0. Caden Curry after the game. This is probably one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard, and I love it. He said that after the game that they just need to make Bryce Underwood play quarterback. And he said that in the fashion basically saying, we don't think he can play quarterback. And for all the Wolverine fans, even my guys that have said that BU's doing this, he's progressed over the season, it's just the RPO, he's missed a few guys here and there. Shut up. He hasn't progressed at all this season. He had a 3-game stretch early in the year where he was passing like 240, 50 yards. Then he played two of the worst pass defenses in the Big Ten. He played his worst games of the year there outside this one. This past Saturday, he has not progressed at all. I told a lot of people that Dante Moore is the most talented quarterback to ever come out of the state of Michigan in high school. He is. It's not Bryce. It's him. He's the most talented passer to come out of the state of Michigan. And we can see it now. He's not a quarterback yet. He's an athlete playing quarterback who just happens to have a big arm. But he doesn't know where to throw the ball. He doesn't know where to place the ball. That's a fact. Matt Patricia. One of the greatest hires in Ohio State history. Flat out. One of the greatest hires in Ohio State history. We all know how that hire was viewed before the season started. Can't say shit now, huh? And people can go out there and say, a lot of DCs could go out there and do what he does with that talent he has. Here's the problem with that. Everyone in the beginning of the year talked about everyone that we had lost on this defense. And they said that we would take a step back. Lies. This defense has excelled under Matt Patricia. Hit new limits, new heights under Matt Patricia. Just wow, man. Just wow. A few other things to talk about here. It's been confirmed. And I want to give credit. I think it was on Schlegel and them show. Cart talked about in the tunnel after the game. There were Wolverine fans actually waiting for. Wolverine players waiting for Ohio State for them when they got to that tunnel. But of course, Ohio State players are too busy in the crowd doing doing a Buckeye leap, celebrating with the fans while they're looking like douchebags in the tunnel and then looking like douchebags on the middle of the field, protecting the M. Shout out to Chase Herbstreit that was doing it too. Had their equipment boxes out there. And it just shows, and shout out to Mike Valenti, he talked about this, just how sanctimonious they are. It ain't just them, it's the fans too. Talking about, if you guys had all game to fight for your field. That's what you said. That's what they said last year. Now look at you. Sit in the middle of your field, making sure that we don't go over there and plant our flag when we weren't even going to. You know why? Because our coach has more class than yours. Our program has more class than yours. Learn how to lose, learn how to win. But that might be a little hard for you because as of right now, the last 2 seasons, you've had 8 losses. 5 last year, 3 this year, and you might take a 4th in playoffs. And I'm sorry, you're not going to playoffs. You might take another one in bowl season. In the who gives a damn bowl game. That's where you're going. I don't know what to say about this. You like it's funny, guys, because after a championship year and how the way they talked about their program after that year, thinking that they were a better program than ours. And shout out to my best friend Bryce Sack. Even after that national championship, I told him, "You are not a better program than us. You're not. You're not." And now I want to say this. By the way, let's also talk about the comms on the sideline. Let's not be stupid here. I rarely ever hear about comms being lost on sidelines. The fact that it happened in this game, and we also, if you haven't seen already, guys, go on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm sure you can find it. There's a huge argument that happened on the sidelines with a Michigan staffer and an Ohio State staffer. Go look it up. It's crazy. Michigan, Larry Ellison, you might want to get your money back on Bryce. That's a terrible return on investment. Terrible. But before we get to the second half of the show, I want to say this because I don't want to end it talking about that team. I want to end it talking about our team. I've been watching Ohio State football and basically understanding football since 2000, 2001. We won a national championship in 2002. Won a national championship in 14, 15. Won a national championship last year. For the first time in my life, because even when we were winning national championships, guys, Bama was still there. Even in 2002, we won that, but we got back there 2 times after that, and we lost both of them. Last year we won a national championship, but there's still the whole Georgia thing, but they haven't been in 3 years now. And we kind of see what our teams look like now. When you put everything into a pot, Ohio State is the best football program in college football, and I feel as though, it's my opinion, I feel as though it's the first time I can say that, and I'm so happy I can say that. Ohio State is the best program in college football. Kirby Smart's got 2 championships. I'm here to tell you, Ryan Day is the best coach in college football. Anybody can disagree with that. They've won. I don't care. I'm not here to seek the approval of anybody else. Not even my own fan base. I'm here to tell you, Ryan Day is the best coach in college football, and Ohio State's the best program in college football. And man, it feels good. Man, it feels good. But before we continue, everybody, quick message here from the voice of college football. If you didn't know, Ohio State covered. A lot of people thought we wouldn't. Shout out to Jake Butt. Actually, no. Before we continue, everybody, I don't know if you didn't see it on X, I made a little movie for everybody. So I want to present this to you all. I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't seen it yet, grab some popcorn here and enjoy.
So with that in mind, and the rushing battle, like, who do I trust more to run the football? I think both are probably relatively equally capable at stopping the run. But I think Michigan is more dependable at running the football.
Sam gives it to Jackson, trying to get outside. Oh, nice style step. Jackson, where the boys go. Jackson out of bounds at the Michigan 5.
Because this is a perfect situation for us. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. Perfect conditions to do what we want to do. They've got 2 of the most talented wide receivers that they ever had, even though, that usually doesn't make a difference for Michigan.
Sam splits out of the pocket. Looks backside. Down the field. Tate. Touchdown. Tater. Home run hitter. Sam lines up.
Doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Like, what the fuck? Pass the ball. Fuck, pass the ball. Stop this run.
And Cluster looking to get outside. He will not. Great pursuit by the Ohio State defense.
Caleb Downs, right? They got the greatest safety in the history of college football. Caleb Downs. Oh my God. But he's 0-2. You don't see nothing special, you fucking bozo. You 0-2. You
Underwood on 3rd and long. And it's caught. But Caleb Downs.
It's going to be a dogfight. I got Michigan covering and winning as well. So.
Oh man. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, don't you? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh. Ugh. But real quick. Hey, shout out to Buckeye Battle Cry. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out their channel. Those guys over there, they know their stuff. They know their stuff. They make good content. They talk good football. And I appreciate them. They come on here every Thursday. But thank you guys for being here. Buckeye Battle Cry. Thank you guys for the 199. Says Alexa, play No Vaseline by Ice Cube. BTA. Woo, buddy. Boy, does it feel good. Boy, does it feel good. But before we continue, everybody, quick message here from the voice of college football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, everybody, let's get to this Saturday. And we'll be covering this game, of course, throughout the whole week, whether it be myself, Mark Rogers, and Clean Mike. But it's time to put the Wolverines in the rearview mirror. Why? Because unlike them, Ohio State has a Big Ten championship to play for. So the number one Ohio State Buckeyes will be taking on the number 2 Indiana Hoosiers. And honestly, I mean, let's first start out by saying this. I never thought in my lifetime I would ever have to say this. It's crazy seeing Indiana being in this position that they are, and it's well deserved. Signetti has done a great job with that program and turning them into something that they have never seen before. And so shout out to him, shout out to what they do there. I mean, let's be honest here. Though I do have Georgia number 2 in my rankings, and I'll show you guys those later in the show. If anyone else has looked close to Ohio State in terms of being complete, it is the Indiana Hoosiers. Probably tomorrow, tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm gonna drop a video going through some deeper numbers, talking about it. But I looked at some of them today. It's there's nothing really that you can point to that looks like a chink in the armor stat wise. It's kind of like Ohio State in all reality. They've been impressive this season. They've gone through a good schedule. They faced adversity this season, playing at Iowa, in a game that they almost lost in that fourth quarter and won that game by 5 points. I think it was 20-15. But yeah, let's talk some about their main players here. Let's start with Mendoza, accurate guy, one of the best quarterbacks in college football. 32 touchdowns on the season, 5 interceptions. He's very mobile, 243 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns. Something that I didn't expect out of him this year. Excuse me, even coming out of Cal. But yeah, he's been really good. Now, with that being said, multiple times this year, Mendoza has shown a tendency to play bad for 3 or 3.5 quarters in a game, and then have his Heisman moment. But I really believe that if he does that in this game, he's not going to have a chance. Indiana won't have a chance. You can't play bad for 3.5 quarters or even 3 quarters. Hell, 2 quarters against Ohio State and expect to win this game. Shout out to Dog. He was at the game too, but we were talking in a space this weekend. It was actually just yesterday, and he asked me, who do I think can pose a threat to Ohio State? And I told him, I don't really know. I said Georgia, but even then, I'm not like I think we would terrorize their secondary. And he pointed this out. If you have a bad quarter against Ohio State, you're already behind the 8 ball. You already are. And so I'm really interested to see what Mendoza does. Because if he does that again, because he's done that 3 times this year, I believe, maybe 2 or 3 times. If he does that, maybe more. If he does that again, they're gonna get walked out of there. They're gonna get dog walked. And that's the truth of the matter. His wide receivers, Elijah Surratt, Cooper Jr., damn good. Really good players. I mean, if you guys remember, Cooper, he had that game-winning touchdown, which was actually a bad throw from Mendoza, but he jumped up 20 feet in the air and caught it. He's really good. They both have 11 touchdowns on the season. Their running backs, Hemby, Black, Martin. Hemby and Black being the 2 primary running backs. Good, strong guys. They know how to run the football. Now they're not big play running backs, like they're not like a Bo Jackson. I think like the long for all of them is about 35 yards, I believe. But Gesundheit, excuse me. But listen, Ohio State's run game this season has been great. And by the way, their run game is, their run defense is also. I think right now they're actually ahead of Ohio State at number 1, while we're number 2 in run defense. But no, we gotta be able to stop them again. It's another test for this Ohio State defense. This is the biggest test for Ohio State's defense this year, especially that D line. But I think we're gonna do well against them. I don't think they're gonna get more than 100 yards on us, and if they do, it'll probably be around there. It wouldn't be like a 150-yard game out of them. Now I will tell you, I've watched 2 games over the weekend of Indiana since our game finished. I'm forgetting his name right now, but their right guard, he's the mark. He's the mark. And I'm sure Indiana fans, when they watch Ohio State football games or watch film of us, they're going to say the same thing about our right guard, Integra, who played great. And shout out to Integra. You know what, man? It's playoff season. Playoff Tegra's been activated. He was great last year in the playoffs. Hell, I'm on board. He's going to be great. He's going to be great from here on out in the postseason. But I think it's going to be a great game for Cade McDonald. I think he's going to be able to expose that. Him, Malone, and the rest of them. Edric Houston, he's been great this year, especially in the second half of the season specifically. Now let's get to their defense. They give up 10.9 points per game. Very good D-line. One of the best D-lines in college football. Kamara, their lead guy, he's on the edge. He's really damn good. He's been good now, great for 2 years now. Landino, Tucker, Daly. 17 sacks out of their starting D-line this year. So it's another game where, a test for this offensive line, specifically the right side of this offensive line. Go out there and protect Julian. Don't let him get touched. That is very important. Because if there's one thing that can derail the Ohio State offense, it's getting pressure on Julian. It's not because Julian isn't posed. It's not because he gets sporadic. It's simply because you can't let it happen. It sets the offense back, puts you behind the ball, and you just can't have it. So we got to make sure that we take them out the game. We were able to do that against Derek Moore, Rayshawn Benny, TJ Guy, and Barham. I want to see us do it again. This is probably the second best linebacker duo in the Big Ten with Fisher and Hardy. Those guys are really good. Can't take anything away from them. Nothing negative to say about those two linebackers. They're damn good. I would say right behind and there was a gap between our linebackers and theirs, but right after Sonny and Arvell, that's the next best linebacker unit in the Big Ten. So for guys like Max Clare, guys like Kaz Merrick, we're gonna need a good game out of them when it comes to getting up there, blocking them, getting open when the time comes when we need to get the ball to them. That's the matchup right there. I think that's probably my biggest matchup of the game in terms of our offense going against their defense is going to be our tight ends going against their linebackers. Honestly, our offensive linemen too, but going against those linebackers in that front seven of Indiana. And now, let's talk about what's at stake here. There's a lot on the line. First, let's start with the team. Then we'll get to the individual award that I think we all know what we need to talk about. This is a Big Ten championship here. And, guys like oh man, I can't remember his name right now. But a lot of people want to downplay or don't think Rich Eisen. A lot of people don't think that championship games are needed. They think that they're pointless. Well, you keep that to yourself, because at the end of the day, when you have a season like this, where you have two clear-cut teams who are 12-0, I don't want a co-champ. I don't want to be a co-champion. What is it? The 1920s? We don't do that anymore. Playing for hardware. Shout out to Ryan Day. I want this Big Ten championship. We haven't been here since 2020. Long time, 5 years, long time, everybody. And so I really, really, really want this game. And by the way, right, it's a lot of comments right now. It's hard for me to get to it. Again, super chats aren't always, they're not needed. But if you would like to get your comment up here, and I would happily read if you do that. But again, I appreciate you guys all for being here. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm really glad to be here with you guys to talk about the game and talk about playing this Big Ten championship, because this is huge. But I want this Big Ten championships. I want to going 12-0 is great. Beating the Wolverines is awesome. But I want this team to be crowned Big Ten champions. I want Ryan Day to be crowned a Big Ten champion. I want these players to be crowned Big Ten champions, this program to have it. I want this trophy in the Woody, man. I want it there. Next, the Heisman race. Everybody and their mama knows. And Jeremiah Love, he is probably deserving. He probably is deserving to win this Heisman but everyone and their mama knows. The Heisman Trophy is going to be won on Saturday in the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Heisman is going to be won that day. Now, if both quarterbacks were to go out there and not have a great showing, either one of them, and whether one of their teams won, they probably don't. Maybe they do. But I don't think that's going to be the case. One of these quarterbacks are going to show out. Maybe both do, but only one of these teams can win. I think you're talking about a situation here, and this is so cool because it's like it seems full circle right now. 20 years ago, a quarterback wearing number 10 by the name of Troy Smith. He won the Heisman in a 1 versus 2 matchup, played outstanding in that game, and that's what won him the Heisman, man. And it's so crazy how 20 years later, you got Julian Sand, his first year being the starter, like Troy Smith was in that year. And, Aaron Pavia is not winning this. He's not winning it, bro. But, yeah, Pavia is not doing it. And on 3, a bunch of goofballs. Not all of them, but the ones that say, like, for them that, goofy. But, for him to come in, he's about to play the number 2 team in the nation. for a Big Ten championship here. If Julian Sain goes out there, man, and does what he's been doing all season, it's his. It's his for the taking. So again, man, there's a lot to play for here, and of course the Big Ten championship is before that Heisman. And I'm sure Julian's not thinking about it. Ryan Day, he said it, I think it was a couple weeks ago. If he ever thought that players on this team were more worried about individual awards and over the team, he would not let the social media page post anything about Heisman or anything about the individual awards that the players are up for, like K-Mac and Arbel and Sonny and those guys and Caleb, Jeremiah. He wouldn't do it. And by the way, our offensive line not being up for the Joe Moore Award, criminal, just criminal. But that's besides the point. So yeah, man, looking forward to seeing what happens here. Can't wait. And that's that, man. Let's go win the Big Ten championship. Next. Let's get back to Brian Hartline here. Of course, we all seen news swirling around about Brian Hartline going to go interview for the Kentucky Wildcat job. Look, man. And it's between him. Listen, it's him or Will Stein, the OC over at Oregon. I wouldn't be upset if he were to leave. Now, do I think Brian Hartline would leave this Ohio State team while he's in a championship run? I do not. And I sure hope not. But I don't think he would do that to his alma mater. I don't think he would do that to Ohio State. I don't think he would do that to these players. And I'm not even sure if he would take the job. It's not the greatest job. It's Kentucky. It's SEC football. I think Brian Hartline could, if he was to stay at Ohio State, go through another season, better jobs would be lined up for him. But with that being said, I don't begrudge him for taking this interview. I'm not upset with him for doing so. Again, like I said earlier in the show, a lot of people have been given most of the offensive credit when they talk about it. They say Ryan Day, and I tend to be on the other hand and say I'm going to give credit to Brian Hartline for what this offense has looked like this season. It's him with a first-year quarterback, and he's been awesome. He's been awesome, and he deserves all the accolades that he has warranted his way. Now, I will say this: the offensive coordinator job at Ohio State is a better job than being the head coach at Kentucky. That's a fact. There's no arguing that. No one can argue that. But I really believe that Brian Hartline is not going to leave Ohio State. I'm not upset with him again for taking that job. And I would say, Will Stein, he has proven more as an OC than him. And I see, UK is probably going to hire Will Stein, which I believe so also. I believe Will Stein is going to take that job. Not just take the job. I believe UK is going to go with him. And it's been hilarious. I've seen Kentucky fans posting Tavian St. Clair. Talking about if Brian Hartline wants to take the job, they can go ahead and still poach him, and he would follow Brian Hartline, which I don't think that would happen. But look, man, at the end of the day, Ohio State has been getting receivers before Brian Hartline, and we'll do that after. Now, does it hurt losing Brian Hartline? Yeah, he's the best recruiter in college football. Not just wide receiver, he's the best recruiter in college football. So, yeah. But I didn't want to spend too much on that. It is what it is. This is big time college football, everybody. And as fans, we had to put on our big boy pants. So, Brian Hartline said some years ago that being a head coach wasn't never really in his mind, in the forefront of his mind, doing that. At the same time, though, man, a smart man. I remember some years ago, maybe like 10 years ago, I heard Colin Cowherd say this. With new information, a smart person always changes their mind. So that's that. Not overly upset about it. It is what it is. But next here, and to finish out the show, and actually real quick here, because I saw this earlier, I wanted to point this out because I don't think the Wolverines just took one L on Saturday. They took two, and this is why right here. Shout out to Sage, Ohio. Michigan State made a good pick. Yes, they did. Of course, if you haven't seen already, everybody, Michigan State, they're it looks like they are about to hire, or they have hired Pat Fitzgerald, ex Northwestern Wildcat coach, now the best player that ever come out of Northwestern, the best coach to ever coach at Northwestern. And by the way, if you don't know about what happened with all the humbug about that player and what he said about and what he accused him of and being lies, because Pat Fitzgerald has an impeccable character. Impeccable. One of my favorite, not just coaches, but people in college football. What a win for Michigan State. Of course, Michigan State, whether people don't want to agree with this or not, they are, in terms of revenue and just what they've been over the last 25 years, that's a top 25 program. They've got the money. They've got. I think they're gonna go fully behind him, get him what he needs, and so great hire for Michigan State there. I don't think they could have done any better. I think that was the best hire outside of LSU getting Lane Kiffin. Which I have no problem. I don't understand why everybody's so mad about Lane Kiffin going. Screw Ole Miss. Screw them. He made you. Ole Miss has never been a good program. In their long history, they've never been that. And so for him to go out there and do what he has done over the last 4 years or so he's been there, outstanding job by Lane Kiffin. It's not easy to win at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is Ole Miss is a worse program than Michigan State. They're nowhere near Michigan State as a program. So for Lane Kiffin to go and do what he did at Ole Miss and be as competitive as he won, give them an 11-1 season in the SEC, tip of the hat. Lane Kiffin deserves to go to LSU. He deserves that. And I'm not going to begrudge anybody for when you work at a smaller company and you bust your ass and you prove yourself, and then one of the best programs, a top 3-5 program, calls your number and they want you to go there. Hell yeah, you take that job. I would say the same thing in sales. I would say the same thing in HR. I would say the same thing in if you were a coal miner in West Virginia, I would tell you that. So yeah, man, shout out to Lane. He's one of my favorite coaches in college football. So if anybody else wants to hate on him, go ahead. I'm not here to do it. I'm not here to land on Lane Kiffin for taking a better job. And we all know that LSU is a better job than the Ole Miss Running Rebels. And it ain't close. Now, real quick here before we get to my my rankings. And by the way, everybody, I did make I think I made one little problem in my rankings, to be quite honest with you. I really think I did. But like it might be an egregious miss, but I'll let you guys tell me where I'm wrong, where I'm right, where I'm stupid. But before we do that, a quick message here from the voice of college football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football, and let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The Voice of College Football is a growing network with a large following, so let's find out how you can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and just like them, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@bocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships@bocfb.com today. Now, to finish out here, everybody, last segment, my final power rankings for the season, or actually for the regular season. I will post one more after the playoff. I mean, it's not the playoff, but right before right after the championship games are played. I have Ohio State 1. I moved Georgia up to number 2 over Indiana. Why? Because my rankings are my rankings. My rankings are very fluid, and it is opinion-based. I think Georgia's a better football team right now than Indiana. Number 3 is Indiana. Number 4, Texas Tech. At 5, I have Oregon. Didn't like that showing against Washington, but they won that. It's a rivalry game they won, but right now I'm picking Texas Tech over them because Oregon also has an injury problem on their offensive line. Texas Tech has one of the best defensive lines in college football, $40 million worth, so that's that. At number 6, Notre Dame. I've been on this since the beginning of the year. I said after that, that Miami and Texas A&M loss, where they lost those 2 games by combined 3 points, I said I'm buying everybody's Notre Dame stock, and that's why I had them up here. Number 7, I have Alabama. At 8, Ole Miss. I'm moving them down, guys, because you lost your head coach. That just is what it is. At number 9, I have Texas. You go out there, you beat the number 3 team in the nation, you deserve it. And you know, for what it's worth, no one's played Ohio State tougher than Texas. And yeah, it's week 1. Do I think we will beat Texas by double digits today? Yes, I do. But it is what it is. The Florida loss, that's a terrible loss. That's a terrible loss. But they also did beat Oklahoma. So there's that. When you have 2 and Vanderbilt, you got 3 top 10 wins. You deserve to be at number 9 for me. At number 10, the fraudulent Texas A&M Aggies moved down. Number 11, Oklahoma. Number 12, USC. I'm just big on USC. That it just is what it is. This is like it's pure opinion for this. I have no statistics. I have this right here, everybody, is just me feeling as though that USC would probably beat Miami at number 13, 14 Vandy, 15 BYU, and 16 Utah. Listen, no one's going to convince me that Vandy, BYU, and Utah would beat Miami and USC. You can't convince me of it. Maybe they would. Any given Sunday, sure, whatever. Not on a neutral field. I'm not hearing it. So those are my rankings. Let me see here. Where do you guys think I'm wrong here? All right. So here we are. Let's start right here. Let's start right here. Aaron says, "What are these rankings?" Aaron, these are my rankings. These are my rankings. These aren't anyone else. These are the Garrison opinionated, very fluid rankings, and they've been this way all season. Jam says, but Indy hasn't played anyone since then. Hey, Jam, you sound like a Wolverine fan right now talking about Ohio State. I don't care. If you go out there and you put BTA on everybody else, listen, if you go out there and you're playing bad teams, bad, average, whatever teams, mediocre teams, if you go out there and do that, Jam, right? And then you smack them, but then these other teams like Miami are losing to SMU and Louisville. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. There's a lot of teams this year that have gone out and either played with their food or lost to them and threw up all over themselves. Not Notre Dame. Not them. And today, if Texas A&M and Notre Dame are on a neutral site, I bet you Notre Dame would be the favorite. Oh, no. Oh, okay. See? Okay. There's my friend. Oh, okay. You know what, Jam? Love you, Jam. Love you. Oh, okay. The Rob Farrow, Notre Dame. See, I love Jam. I can just yell at her like she's my friend because she is my friend, man. I love Jam. The Rob Farva says Notre Dame and Bama too high. Miami needs to be a tad higher. Maybe so. I'll tell you guys a funny conversation. Right before I got on here, I was talking to my boy Cam. He's like a big brother to me. Best friend since the Navy. He's a big Miami. He's a Miami fan from Ohio, by the way. And he actually went to school at Ohio State. But he was yelling me up and down about it, about my rankings and about like the AP and the playoff and everybody else. So yeah, it's funny. But maybe so you're not the only one that holds this opinion. Because actually, when I was gonna say Rod, when I said I got not talked down, but I got hit with something about hey, I might have missed on Miami. They probably should be higher. So when I go on X after this, I might redact that one and replace them up a little bit higher. Because you guys make good points there. David Sobel, shout out to you, my guy. Good to see you in here. Texas Tech is a scary team. I completely agree with you. I've been on this, David, for about a month now. Just like you, it seems. And I don't care what anybody else says, man. When you have a defensive line like that, you got an offense that can move the ball down the field, man, and a defense, good coach, you're a scary team. And one of the reasons what makes them so scary is that I don't know how good they are. I don't know what they are. They're going through a Big 12 schedule, and it is what it is. But yeah, they definitely could be real. They definitely could be real. Maybe they're not, but yeah, man, man, listen, they're playing who's in front of them, and they're smacking everybody in front of them. That's what they're doing right now. That's what they're doing. Real quick, I got you, Rod. Rod says, didn't know you were in the Navy, G. My stepbrother is a retired Navy. He did 25 years and retired. Retired Master Chief. Don't need to tell you, but as an MC, he didn't do shit. Oh man, but that's awesome. Hey, well, tell your stepbrother I said thank you for his service, and I said Semper Fortis. See who's get some more of these real quick. Jam says Texas and Alabama will not make the playoff. I think Georgia wins the SEC championship. I agree with you. Texas, and by the way, my power rankings, that's not me, guys, saying, and Jam, I know you're not saying this. I just want to say this so I could, because someone actually did point this out to me on X. I'm not saying that they will make the playoffs. It's just who I think are better teams, right? But just because you're better doesn't mean you deserve it. That does not mean you deserve it. And I agree. I think Georgia's win the SEC championship. I think they are. Yeah, so I'm right there with you. David Garrison, I know they believe they can win. Oh, for sure. Texas, I don't think Texas Texans, I think Texas Texans can beat anybody. So, and they deserve to think that. But yeah, man, great show, everybody. Again, wouldn't want to be anywhere else after a big win like that. And before we get out of here, everybody, if you want to join me and singing one of the greatest songs of all time before we get out of here. Oh, come, let's sing Ohio's praise, the song of alma mater, while our hearts rebounding thrill, which only death alone can still. Summer's heat or winter's cold, the seasons pass, the times will roll. Time and change will surely show how firm thy friendship, Ohio.